power bottom. We are not picking on the power bottom people. Power bottoms could be females and the males, but we gonna talk about, since people don't want to listen to a black man talk about HIV and AIDS because they say I'm hating. Let's listen to our fellow Anglo or Germanic man talk about HIV and AIDS. Brandon, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
I can hear it. Go ahead.
You've probably heard that HIV is transmitted through contact with infected bodily fluids, such as blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk, which means this can happen during unprotected sex, sharing needles with drug use, from mother to child with breastfeeding and during childbirth, and through blood transfusions with infected blood. However, it is also important to note that HIV cannot be spread through casual contact like shaking hands, hugging, kissing, or sharing utensils. But what would your odds be if you did have non-casual contact with someone that is infected with HIV, or in other words, you had intercourse with someone with HIV, or came in contact with some of these infected bodily fluids? Well, here are some interesting estimates or odds based on modeling studies with discordant couples. And as an FYI, a discordant couple is a pair of long-term sexual partners in which one has a sexually transmitted infection, but the other does not. A discordant couple is a pair of long-term sexual partners in which one has a sexually transmitted infection, but the other does not. And I'm going to list these from highest risk to lowest risk. And topping the list for the highest risk is receptive anal intercourse, with the risk being 1 transmission per 72 sex acts. So in other words, it was estimated that the risk of getting HIV for the non-infected individual that participated in receptive anal intercourse was 1 out of 72. Now, the reason why receptive anal intercourse is the highest risk is due to the nature of the anus and the rectum. The mucosal lining is thinner and more prone to tears and abrasions, which can facilitate the virus's entry into the body. This also explains why men that have intercourse with men are more likely to get HIV. It doesn't mean they are the only people that contract HIV in this way. It's just that they have a higher likelihood of participating in anal intercourse and therefore increases the risk. This also explains why men that have intercourse with men are more likely to get HIV. It doesn't mean they are the only people that contract HIV in this way. It's just that they have a higher likelihood of participating in anal intercourse and therefore increases the risk. Insert of anal intercourse was next as far as risk, with 1 transmission per 900 sex acts. So less risky than receptive, as the skin of the penis is thicker and more durable.
Hello, Brandon, what you cheesing for? Now, what you cheesing for?
Did you hear that? I just didn't know that the odds were like that. Like,
it's low.
Right, that's what I said. I just thought it was way higher than that.
No, let me go ahead, after this, we go talk about it, and I go show you why it's way higher than that. Because, see, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon is not comprehending or understanding.
No, I am. No, you ain't. I didn't. Okay, go ahead. Well, tell me why.
Brandon is not comprehending or understanding this presentation.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason I rewind a concord relationship, because you can understand the context of what the study is in.
I get it. They're talking about a partner. But go ahead.
Okay, let me get you. Okay, what are they talking about?
They're talking about a partner that has it and a partner that doesn't, and them having sex and the likelihood of that happening. Go ahead.
That's only 2 people. But me and you both know it's more like this.
Why is that?
But we're going to talk about it.
Okay, but so I get what you're saying.
This study is like this.
Yeah.
But real life is like this, or a 10.
Right. But you know what? But when you say that, but people act like they don't have sex or they don't have a lot of partners. People like to lie about that kind of stuff.
We're going to talk about it, Brandon.
Go ahead.
We're going to talk about it. All right.
Still more risky than vaginal intercourse, as receptive penile vaginal intercourse was 1 transmission per 1,250 sex acts, whereas insertive penile vaginal intercourse was 1 transmission per 2,500 sex acts, meaning that a non-infected female is more likely to get it from an infected male than a non-infected male is to get it from an infected female. Females having a higher risk likely has to do with the larger surface area of the vaginal lining that can be exposed to the virus, and also due to infected semen potentially staying in the vaginal canal for an extended period of time, therefore increasing the exposure time to the virus. And lastly, receptive or insertive penile oral intercourse was about 0 to 4 transmissions per 10,000 sex acts. And as an FYI, female to female sexual transmission of HIV is very rarely reported. I think it is also worth mentioning the risk of getting HIV from non-sexual bloodborne exposure. A blood transfusion with infected blood, for example, the risk was 9 out of 10. Needle sharing with injection drug use was 1 out of 150. Percutaneous needle sticks, which could be like an accidental needle stick that can occur with healthcare workers, was 1 out of 435. And mucous membrane exposure to blood, like splashes to the eye, was 1 out of 1,000. Now, it is definitely interesting to see some of those numbers. However, I do think we need to go back to the numbers or the estimates that we discussed with sexual exposure, because the risk of contracting HIV is likely a bit higher for other populations.
Yes, sir.
But I used to work in a hospital, and I used to work with HIV samples on a regular basis. And sometimes you may spill a little serum or just something like that. And I used to, right. Or people, will be tubing up blood to different floors, and it'll come back. And sometimes you open the tube up, the blood explodes in somebody's face. So, when something like that happens, you have to go to, down to the ER and have all these tests and run all the different things, just, following protocol. But I was wondering what the odds of some of that stuff was, just because, you deal with it on a daily basis. But, it's just good to see those numbers.
And it showed, what was the numbers? It's very low, right?
It's very low. Yeah. I guess you would think it would be a little higher, but compared to just the sex with somebody that has it, it's just interesting to see.
I try to get an HIV expert to come on this channel. I live with her, but it's hard for her to join us. One thing you have to remember about is the testing. It's like, who you testing? Like, this is not these numbers are not based off worldwide or even United States. They are based on a long-term relationship with one person has one thing and other person has another, or with the numbers he's talking about, they are basing on the people in that work environment who comes up with a HIV or something like that. You probably, if they right before you started your job, did you have to get tested before you started?
No, I don't think they did anything like that, but if you had an exposure, it's a certain protocol you have to follow. Like I said, it's been so long, I can't even remember exactly what happens. Right. But
more than likely, Brennan declined to getting pre-tested before starting his job. I got a feeling. So Brennan, before you signing up, Brennan, they said, "Do you want to get tested for herpes or HIV?" Brennan said, "Nah, I ain't sticking me." So
possible. I have to check with my wife and see, because like I said, we did the same thing at the time, but I'm not sure. I just can't remember. They might have, I just can't remember.
So doing such things, sometimes you can lose some of your right to sue in case you get affected.
Yeah.
Or it'd be tougher to sue. So this is peep you on that, and you gotta remember, Brandon, you may get your wife.
I did get a TB test. I remember that tuberculosis thing. So shout out to Timothy.
You gotta remember, in my opinion, I don't know your wife like this, but your wife wasn't your current wife as she is right now with all her knowledge.
Right.
This is a long time ago. Denied one of those tests. All right.
Right.
So do you want to get tested for herpes? And this, since you be cleaning bathroom, if you got to clean the bathroom as a janitor, they probably gave you a herpes. They probably asked you for a herpes test. And how many people think janitors going to deny that, brother?
All of them going to deny it.
Okay. So just to let you know, but we're going to get to all the stuff this white man is saying. We're going to break it down into pictures so everybody going to understand. But let's get back to it.
That had a known infected partner, some of whom were likely receiving treatment for HIV, which we're going to learn reduces the risk of spreading the infection. And two, people that are not in monogamous relationships and have multiple sex partners have a higher likelihood of encountering those that have HIV, and many of these people don't even know that they have HIV. And if someone is in the acute phase of HIV, this is significant, because the acute early phase of HIV is when people have a higher viral load and tend to shed more of the virus, and therefore can more easily spread the infection. And the third point I want to make is, whether your odds of contracting HIV are 2% or 3% in certain types of intercourse, that is only part of the risk assessment. You have to go further with this, because some might view those numbers and say, I'll take those odds. But let's say there's this scenario where you have a 2 to 3% chance of catching common cold and a 2 to 3% chance of catching HIV. I'm not saying the odds of catching cold and HIV are the exact same in reality, it's just to illustrate this point on risk. But in this example, the odds of catching either illness are the same. But what is the weight of the consequences if you hit those 2 to 3% odds? You catch the cold, it's going to bother you for 1 to 2 weeks. You catch HIV, as of today, with the current treatment available, that's going to change your life.
All right. Mr. Taylor, I thank you for coming on. I'm glad to see you, brother. I hope everything's doing well. All right. Power bottom pandemic. This is not directly aimed at people who do the power bottom acts, but this slide is on the power bottom. If a male has HIV or AIDS and he puts it on, that arrow means insert, Brandon.
Got you.
He inserts into a bottle of a male or female. It's a 1 in 72% chance that male or female that don't have AIDS could catch it.
Correct.
Now, Brandon, you said you didn't believe those. You thought those numbers.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Right. I would. I guess I would. Why would you? Just because the way, I guess, because we don't know how often it's transferred. We just see the numbers are high and it's rising, especially in the cities that I've been in, like Atlanta, Columbia. Like it's a big problem, and it just seems like it's spreading easily, like COVID, right? You think if somebody just cough on you, you got HIV, basically, the way it spreads, but that's not the case, clearly.
No, that is the case. I have to tell you, because this study is based on long-term relationship.
Okay.
How many of those people are long-term? are in 2 people? Those are the 2 people doing this.
Right.
How many people are in relationships that?
Not many. But
how many people on this video screen in relationships like that, Brandon? Right now, how many people?
Not many.
No, me and you are in one of those, right?
Right. But I'm saying, how many people are not doing this? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, how many people just single going out?
How many people have sex with one person over a 5-year span?
Not many people doing that. I guess if you want to look at it, it's a lot of people married. They're just having sex with one person, right?
Yeah, that's be long term.
So it is a lot of people, right?
No, that's not a lot of people. A lot of people ain't married. That's a key thing.
But real quick, do you know offhand the percentage of people that are married?
In what demographic?
We'll just say us. We'll just say black people.
40%.
Okay. And how many people?
No, excuse me. 40% got married one time in their life.
Okay.
So they may not be married now. But they're at least married one time.
Okay.
So the number is smaller than 40.
Okay. So you don't think it's a lot of people like us in a committed relationship having sex with the same partner over a span of 5 years? There's more people having. I'm about to tell my mind. It's more people. It's more men not having sex.
But that's what population.
Right. All right. It's on OnlyFans doing their own thing.
Wherever they doing, fish sticks and beer at the end of the night. That's what they doing.
That's what they doing. Right.
All right. So, but it's a good more women are having sex. Okay. It's more women are having sex, and based on the internet,
women do not do that. They don't do that.
Brandon, we talked about this before. You know how hard it is for a man to have sex?
Yes, right. And you know
I was told today, when I was in my college years, I could get the woman, but not so much today. Somebody told me that today.
And why is that?
Brandon, look at me, Brandon. Compare.
I got you.
I can get him in my college days.
In college days, but now you can't.
Now I can't get it per her. I can't get as big. I'm not that potent no more.
Let me read Timothy's comment real quick.
Right.
Here in Chicago, our forest preserves our hookup spots. Oh Lord. Well, I do remember hearing stuff like that, but down low men who all look like straight men of all races. I do remember them stories, like people be meeting up in the middle of the woods and flashing lights and creeping off into the woods and come back. I don't know.
Mr. Taylor,
just stay away.
I'm here to tell you, Chicago, every place is like that. Parks.
Well, what?
Restrooms for some reason.
Yeah, right. Truck stops.
Truck stops. The baby who got banned for saying the truth. Do not be in the parking lot giving sloppy topic. I ain't gonna say no much, but giving sloppy topic. Yeah. Guys will be in the parking lot with other guys giving sloppy topic. All right, and that's a good, and they banned them from that. Right,
that's a good tie-in, like because the baby was kind of talking about this in a way, and it ruined his career. He was out of here, but you know he still raps the same. You know he may rap a little better, but they canceled him.
They canceled him. But Brandon, if a man has HIV and his other partner is a power bottle.
Okay. And this is you just talking about a relationship. This is a relationship.
A long-term relationship. Gotcha. So you see how hard it is to catch it?
Yeah.
Now, Brandon, if a person have in this relationship 72, if a person has sex if a person has sex every 70 days, that chance is a whole lot low, ain't it?
Right.
How about if you have sex every day?
Right.
What's your chances doing that?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Most people aren't having sex that much, so you know.
But 1 out of 72 is high.
It is high, but I thought it'd be higher.
Brandon, it's hard. Brandon, what's the last time you wiped your booty, you saw blood? Tell me that, Brandon. Tell me, I want to know. I tell you mine if you tell me yours.
It's been a while.
Huh?
No, come.
Huh?
That's funny.
What's the last time that happened?
It's been a couple years.
Okay, I tell you mine. Mine's happened maybe last month. And before then, I can't even remember. I could have been constipated. It could have been building up.
But it alarms you. You know something's not right.
So it can happen. So
it can happen.
When you see if you clean yourself, you see booty, little blood on the booty. A person did some stuff. That's your chance you'll get it.
Correct. But like I say, do you think? So should people take the odds and not wear protection? We're talking about. I know we're gonna get to the other slides where you just having sex with not random people, but you know it's not in a relationship. But if you're in a relationship and one person has HIV or AIDS, do you think it's fine just to not wear protection? Because
this study does not took account for protection or not. This study only took account is a person was in a long-term relationship and one person had AIDS. That's it.
I got you.
So we don't know if protection was worn or not. But Brandon, as a sensible man, if you in a long-term relationship, who's wearing protection?
People not. They're not doing that. So.
Okay, so Brandon, you know your answer. All right.
But would you? I guess I'm not saying in my situation because you know, if you're dating somebody and they told you that's what they had, do you think you would start? Because you know, of course, when you're first in a relationship, you start wearing protection, but then you stop. And then usually how it goes, like at the beginning, oh yeah, we're gonna do things right. We're gonna use protection, and after a while, you just stop using it.
I would tell man to use Obamacare. Every year you qualify for a yearly physical. Have you and your person take a yearly physical, explain to them you are sexually active and you don't use protection. You got to put it like that or they're gonna charge you. You are sexually active, you don't use protective. A wise doctor say detect now age test, you know, and then you won't get charged.
Right.
But if you just go up in there and say, let me get an age test, they're going to charge you.
Right. You're right.
You know,
and you're going to be waiting on them results and you're going to be nervous.
You don't need to be nervous.
Why should you be nervous?
If they say, call me back, we got some results.
We need to talk about it.
Then we'd be nervous. All right.
I got you.
But nowadays the customer service got a little better. They go call back and they go see if you got high cholesterol, how it is. But I took the health condition I got going on. I took a AIDS test in December, and I turned out negative. Because AIDS can appear like other things, but we gonna talk about that later.
So boring. It's so boring. I wish I had a coloring book that speaks. What is this? Oh my gosh! Coloring book of black icons. Viola Davis. Ooh, this is cool. Stanley is a super talented basketball coach and former player. Wow! It's Michael Jackson! Does this look like Michael Jackson? Order your coloring book of black icons today.
Introducing the Coloring Book of Black Icons, a vivid coloring book celebrating famous African-American figures, from Simone Biles to Michael Jackson. Ignites your child's imagination from learning about inspiring leaders in history. Each page is a journey through courage, creativity, and change. Let's color the story that shaped the world. Hey, good day, everybody. My name is Lewis, and I'm just came to let you know that I have the best financial book for black people on the market today. This book is designed to help you with things like student loans, housing, employment, and also create income streams so you can support your family and provide security for everybody around you guys. This book is black owned, and I use a whole lot of black companies making this book. This book is available on the link below. Make sure you check it out, guys. Check out my reviews. As of today, every person who read my book gave me a phone call about how great the book is, guys. Don't miss this great opportunity to earn some black magic, guys. And it's a quick read and it's entertainment. Look at it. I got strippers in the name. But the book is called From 0 to 200K. You can check out this book with the link below. Have a good day.